One of the biggest problems I found with change management is that managers at all levels, from the C-suite executives down to junior managers, tend to underestimate or flat out do not consider people's behavioral aspects of organizational change. For instance, let's say a retailer like Sears decided to get rid of its current business model, close all of its brick and mortar locations, and take on Amazon head to head in the online retailer space. Or in the case of government, an agency completely changing its strategic policy. That is, which societal problem it wishes to address. Now, from the outside, these changes may look smart, especially in the case of Sears, as it was Amazon 100 plus years before, well, Amazon was Amazon. However, from the inside, very few employees would get behind it because of its appearance of intrinsic lunacy. No sum of attractive coercion to their emotion would change the reality that to them the idea, the strategy was, well, stupid. So why then do good ideas die before they even get off the ground or stagnate when they should be sprinting throughout the organization and growing in popularity? Well, it happens because organizations tend to put the majority of their focus on the process of the change initiative itself and not giving the employees what they need to motivate them. Not giving them what they need to do something because they want to, not because they have to. Essentially, they don't reach employees at the human level, which in turn causes them not to fully invest in the change. Look, the most logical, well thought out strategy for change will fail if you don't center it around your people. What I have found that works in creating new behaviors and getting rid of old behaviors is using a more humanized focus approach. For instance, you can have the best plans ever developed, but if your implementation stinks, your strategy is going to fail. Therefore, in order to align strategies with what's going on below, I personally encourage and even seek out employees' input. By doing this, you increase your credibility with them, are able to identify early where and from whom resistance might come from, and prepare the wider organization for what is coming in the future. Creation of a change team. Most of the flow of communication in an organization flows horizontally, not vertically up and down. Because of this, you need to locate and win over someone or a few people that have credibility within the wider organization to spread the word about the benefits of the change and preach about it as if it was gospel. You also need to obtain some easy wins at the very beginning. By obtaining these early wins, it helps to build momentum moving forward. Furthermore, having someone from high up the food chain, like an executive for instance, creates a better chance of the change succeeding. If you put a middle manager or a lower level manager in charge of the change, it creates the appearance in the mind of the employees that, well, it really isn't that important. Now, communication. To me, this is the most important aspect of a change strategy. The reason for this is because not everyone is going to be as vested as your preacher or as involved as those employees that were able to provide input at the very beginning of this venture. Therefore, like marketing, you have to make sure the placement and message are on point if you want people to buy what you're selling. And just don't tell them about it through the internet or emails. Show them. You wouldn't buy a car without test driving it after seeing an ad on TV, would you? The answer is no, and well, neither would your employees. I've had the pleasure of giving lean presentations on a pretty regular basis, and the one question I hear over and over and over again is, how will this affect people's jobs? People are afraid of them. And I tell them, well, no, that's not something they need to worry about. Well, why? Because it's the job of the change manager to create a better vision of tomorrow. Now, what does that mean? That means that as long as the change manager is making those employees feel as if their careers are developing in terms of having to learn a new skill or moving into a new group, the employee will feel as if they're being rewarded for buying into the change. Now, any type of transformation within an organization is created because the wider organization makes it happen. Those people who provide customer service, do face-to-face sales, do the accounting for your receivables and payables, they're the ones that make it happen. An organization can expect for 100% of those people to have the same vision of what the organization is going to look like in the future. Because of this, you as leaders and those of you aspiring to be leaders need to provide that vision.